I got the chance to watch Mickey 17, directed by Bong Joon Ho, who won his Academy Award for Parasite and made a couple of fantastic movies in the past few years, and starring Batman himself, Robert Pattinson. Now this movie is very interesting, so let's talk about it, but we will start with a quick plot synopsis. So Mickey 17 is about this guy, Mickey Barnes, who got into problems with loan sharks because of a failure in the business in a fast food restaurant. So the only way he can escape these loan sharks is if he goes to space. So he joins this expedition, this 4.5-year space expedition to a planet called Niflheim, to start a colony there, because there's a lot of people who want to go there. So the only way he can beat out the competition is take up the job as an expendable. What is an expendable? Basically, if you watch the trailer, you already know this. He dies, but he comes back to life again. So he gets reprinted back to life again. That's exactly what the job is. So every time there's a risky job, maybe there's like something wrong with the atmosphere, whether it's not safe or new environment, so they want to test it out, they send this guy out first, because they know that after he dies, if he dies, he's going to get reprinted again, so it doesn't matter. So now let's talk about the movie. First and foremost, this is a dark comedy. Like, there's a lot of dark humor in this movie. So let's take Mickey Barnes. Something bad happens to him, and then it's done in a way that is funny. So that's like the dark humor, and I would say it's quite effective. So I really like those portions of the movie. Furthermore, there's a lot of underlying themes and messages in this movie. So there's something about identity crisis, existential crisis. There's something about death as well. Not just because the character keeps dying and keep on getting reprinted, but also because there were so many moments in this movie where the main character was asked by some other character, how does it feel to die? As well as about the fear of death. And there's a lot about politics here as well, especially when it comes to Mark Ruffalo's character, Marshall, and he does a lot of Trump impersonations in this movie. I mean, he plays the politician and then the leader leading this expedition. And there's a lot about things about cruelty and the cruel experiments against humans and animals, because at some point there are going to be aliens in this movie and yada yada yada, and they do those experiments on them. So there's a lot going into here. This is a movie that may require multiple viewings, or at least to be watched more than once to fully appreciate and understand what this movie is trying to come at, because there's a lot packed into here, into this one package. Overall, it's quite an interesting movie, I would say. There's even a challenges kind of thing going on between the two Mickey Barnes that got printed out and the female co-star there. A lot of interesting things goes on in this movie. The acting is great throughout the entire cast. The story is because of the underlying messages and the way the dark humor is written, I would say it's unique. Robert Pattinson has 2 different accents in this movie for the role of Mickey Barnes. And the 2 accents are very contrasting, because one sounds like a cartoonish comedic kind of character you watched as a child, maybe like Mickey Mouse or something, and the other feels like a grim, serious kind of voice that you hear from Batman or some other character like that. There's nothing much to say for this movie in terms of non-spoiler review, because there's so much underlying messages here, like you have to discuss them, and I cannot delve into them deeper because it'll be a spoiler. I highly recommend anyone watching this movie to go into the cinemas with an open mind, because the flow and the story can take some getting used to. It's not like your typical big budget blockbuster movie that you see nowadays. This is very different. But overall, if you want to watch a unique movie, this is it for you, because this is a very interesting movie, a movie that will stimulate your mind, make you think and all that. This is the movie for you. If you're like the kind of guy who just wants to go into the movie to enjoy himself, escape from reality into the fictional world and all that, this is not the movie for you. Alright, this is the complete opposite of what you see of normal blockbusters today. That's all I would say about this movie. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. See you guys next time. You guys are always the best.